Bad patient outcomes are inevitable for every cardiologist, but it's how you move on from them and deal with them that matters most. I'm here at AHA 2018 in Chicago, Illinois, asking fellows how they decompress after something goes wrong. This is Fellows Forum.
I think given the very high intensity or stressful field we're in, and we do see bad outcomes from time to time, but I think the important part of it is to always think about what it could have be done differently. And I usually talk with my colleagues and we go over the case and what could have I done, or in the future what could be done to prevent it. And I think the social support and that makes it much easier to decompress afterwards.
I think when there's an outcome that doesn't go in the way that we hoped, a couple things that I try to do are to really to try to process it on a personal level. I'll usually try to kind of get away from work if I can, exercise, sort of spend time with family, etc., just to sort of de-stress a little bit, and then, but more directly in terms of processing it, I think working through it with peers, particularly with a couple of my co-fellows, sort of to try to take away, to see if there are things we can learn, things we can take away. And then I think the other thing is important is just reminding us that these bad things happen with sick patients, and I always tried to remind the interns and residents that I've worked with about that, and that bad outcomes happen. It's not always, and it's certainly not always our fault. But we still, try to look through and see if there's things we can learn or take away to try to do it better the next time.
So definitely fellowship is very stressful, and there are bad outcomes that every fellow can encounter. So my sort of trying to decompress, sometimes I do workout on the treadmill, run on the treadmill. I do talk to my friends, my colleagues. It's very helpful to get their input and their advice and on these encounters. I also do some spiritual activities, some prayers, and just try to relax by praying, basically.
I mean, obviously, a bad outcome is something we all dread. It happens more often than we like it. I just like to talk about it to my wife, who's also a physician, and we try not to take or work home, but I think it's very important as doctors and as human beings to sort of try to get over bad outcomes. It's sort of like losing a friend, a family member. I think it sort of invokes those same feelings and emotions. I just like to talk about it, learn, see if anything could have been done differently, and accept that sometimes there cannot be things that you can change. So that acceptance factor is very important for all of us as healthcare providers.